everyone, and welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Now, you've seen the thumbnail and the title. It's time for a new knife from RoseCraft Blades. Usual style box, craft paper, RoseCraft logo, website, and then the barcodes and all that stuff on the bottom. And it's the Piney River Peanut, and I have one in Stag and the Vintage Jean Bone, I believe they are calling it. And the mod number is RCT029, and then you've got STG or the bone for the bone one. Usual stuff, foam, comes to you nice and safe, wrapped in little wax paper, all the good stuff. Now done with that. And here are the knives, and they are absolutely beautiful. Particularly this Stag one. We'll go over some specs of them both. We'll go with the blue bone first. So it's their first peanut. It's the smallest slip joint they've released to date, and we've got this vintage blue bone on here, and this is a limited edition bone. It's only going to be used on these peanuts, so you're not going to get it anywhere else. So if I were you, I'd pick one up while you can, but look at the colouring on that. You can see where it looks like warm blue jeans. You've got lighter in the middle, out to the really dark spots on the outside. Got the beautiful rose bomb shield on there as well. Absolutely flawless fit and finish, as you'd expect from RoseCraft. Blade right down the centre, and that beautiful coloration continues on the back. I mean, look at the colours on that. You can see all the lines of the bone where the colour's taken to the white more, and it really does look like old worn blue jeans. Like around here in my local cafe, there is a group of farmers that go in for breakfast there every Saturday. I occasionally go in and have breakfast myself, and one of them has jeans that look exactly like this, you know, where they rub their hands on the front, on their thighs to sort of clean their hands, and you get this lighter colour, and then you've got the darker around it. Absolutely beautiful. Close length, we are bang on, looks like about 3 inches, maybe a tad under. They might have said 2.9, but I'm going to go with about 3 for this. Let's take a look at the blade. Really nice half stop, really nice action on this. We're about 6.5 to a 7. Nice crisp half stop, and listen to the snap on this. And look at that clip point blade. Beautiful edge grind on there on both sides, all the way down. Lovely profile of the knife. I love how it sort of swells up here and then goes back down and up again, almost like a sort of a wave motion. And it really lends itself to be comfortable in the hand. Now, this is a small knife. I can just about get 3.5 on it. Bigger hand people are going to get probably 3 fingers on this, but this is going to be a 5th pocket carry for sure, unless you just want to carry something small. Maker's mark on the back then, that little bones A, D2 steel, and this is RCT, if it'll focus, 029. Blade length then is obviously going to be UK legal, with the whole knife being 3 inches. Full blade of 2 1/8, and then a cutting of 1 7/8. So more than capable. I mean, I know I could do my full day's work with this knife easily, especially with that D2 steel. You know, it lasts a long time, and it's a really hard tool steel. But that is the vintage blue bone. Beautiful. And here, my personal favourite of the two is the genuine Red Deer Stag. Look at that. Beautiful groove down the middle of the Stag here. And I mean, look at that. Nice swell in the middle. It does make it a bit easier to handle with the extra girth of the knife. And the Stag on the pile side is as beautiful as the front. It's been wonderfully sort of hafted here, so it goes up. And it's nice and even throughout, which is what I like. I know that's not always possible with Stag, but I like both sides to sort of match in sort of thickness as best as possible, and they've nailed it with this one. Of course, we have the silver stainless steel bolsters integral liners, so that means the liners are part of the bolsters and vice versa. Again, beautiful fit and finish. Can barely even tell there's 3 separate bits of metal there. Centering right down the middle. Of course, no shield on this one with the Stag, and I'm glad they've done that. Sometimes when you put a shield on a Stag knife, it kind of gets sunk in too far, or it just doesn't look right, and this one actually looks much better without it. Again, same slender profile. Little tiny sharp corner on the tang on this one. I think that's just because of the angle it's at, but not sharp enough to catch you or anything. I mean, it doesn't hurt when you're rubbing it in your hand or anything. But again, beautiful half stop. And I mean, look at the RoseCraft stamp. I will admit, I wasn't a fan of the stamp when they first introduced it. I thought it was a bit plain, but it's really grown on me. I like a nice clear tang stamp, and they've definitely done that with that. Again, great snap. But the Stag, it really makes it a whole different knife in your hand. That extra thickness in the handle makes it incredibly comfortable in multiple grips. Even if you want to get in, like, you know, down this for pull cuts, or even maybe a push cut with that, I'm a big fan. Of course, you've got the STG at the end there for the Stag. Lovely half stop. Yep. Very well done, Andy. Big fan of this. I think you're going to have a bit of a hit on your hands here with the smallest knife you've done. Of course, that 3-inch 5th pocket peanut. And let's look at the comparison of the thicknesses between the two while I throw it around on the table. So yeah, you can see the extra girth on the Stag one. Not that this one isn't fantastic. I mean, if you want a slender, more gentleman's knife, I would say the Blue Bone, definitely. But for more of a user and something to be a bit more comfortable in the hand, that Stag really lends itself for that. Take a look at a full open length of this. Just over 5 inches, let's say 5 2/8, is that? 5 1/8? Big fan, top job, Andy. Love the Stag. I'm glad you went with that for a second option rather than a micarta. Love the micarta knives, but the Stag really does lend itself to be a much higher quality looking knife. And they've done a great job with those nickel silver pins as well there. They're nicely sort of hafted down. You can't really feel those at all. And that's quite hard to do for Stag knives because, you know, it's a natural material. It's lumpy, knobbly. Normally you'll have a bit where you can feel where they've just ball peened it over. But this, they've done a great job sort of hafting them down. And of course this flush on the Blue Bone, because you can sand that fully smooth as you like. Just absolute superb. Can't get over the colour of that blow, and I think it looks fantastic. It's going to be a shame that this is going to be a one-off for this vintage Blue Bone, because I think I might actually prefer it to the Bora Bora, you know. I love the sort of discoloration, the dark patches and all that sort of stuff going on. But yeah, top job. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, there we go, guys. That's my review, overview, unboxing, whatever you want to call it, of the RoseCraft Blades Piney River Peanut. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell to be made aware of videos when they drop, and check out some of my other stuff on the screen here as well. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.